This is part 2 of the complete Star-Ocean timeline. In part 1, Ancient Nede created the 10 Wise Men. Humanity survived the destruction of Earth, and the tragedy of an alternate world helped inspire UP3. Now that law is about to face its first great moral test. In Space Date 346, Roak Ference, Millie Cleet, and Dorn Murdo live in the town of Kratos, on the underdeveloped world of Roak. A mysterious disease begins turning people to stone. Dorn contracts it after touching an infected carrier pigeon sent from the town of Kuhl. Roak and Millie carry him towards Mount Matorx in search of a legendary cure, only to meet 2 visitors from the stars. Claude Kenny and Ilya Silvestri are officers from Earth serving aboard the Calnus. Their investigation reveals that the disease is not a natural plague. The attack appears to come from Lazonia, but the Lazonians did not create the weapon. The dictator Jie Revorse supplied it and used their war with Earth as a distraction for his own plans. The weapon activates a virus engineered on Roak 3 centuries earlier. Modern medicine cannot produce a cure without blood from the original host. That host is Asmodeus, a superhuman who was killed 300 years in the past. The only path to him leads through the time gate on Styx. Roak, Millie, Ronix, and Ilya travel back to Space Date 46. History already remembers a group of heroes defeating Asmodeus in that year. What the people of Roak do not know is that several of those heroes came from their future. The game presents this as a closed time loop. The party does not overwrite an established past. Its journey becomes part of the history that had already been recorded. Asmodeus himself is connected to the Mua scattered from Earth. Centuries earlier, a human exploration ship called the Discovery had been pulled backwards through time and crashed on Fargate. The stranded Mua used its technology to accelerate their own research and created genetically modified superhumans. Asmodeus was their first success. He betrayed them, seized their space and time laboratory, and established himself in the demon world. When Roak's party finally defeats him, the victory closes the loop behind Roak's ancient legend. The group returns to Space Date 346 with the material needed to create a vaccine. Dorn and the other victims are saved. But the biological attack was only part of a larger conflict. The party eventually reaches Fargate and confronts Jie Revorse, a later superhuman created from Asmodeus's genetic material. Revorse has taken control of the planet and intends to turn its power against Earth. Defeating him ends the immediate threat, but the story leaves behind a difficult precedent. Ronix and Ilya violate non-interference to save Roak. Their actions expose the planet to advanced technology and draw local people into an interstellar conflict. They also prevent an engineered disease from destroying an innocent population. UP3 was created to stop powerful outsiders from controlling less advanced worlds. Star-Ocean First Departure asks what happens when strict non-interference becomes another way of abandoning them. The title is important here. This is not humanity's first voyage into space. That happened centuries earlier in Star-Ocean: The Last Hope. The first departure is Roak's. He begins as a village defender and ends his journey with direct knowledge of alien civilizations, interstellar politics, and time travel. The adventure also places the Kenny family near the center of the wider series. Ronix carries the experience of Roak back into interstellar service. 20 years later, his son Claude will be stranded on another underdeveloped world, where an enemy from the Age of Nede is about to return. In Space Date 366, Claude Kenny serves aboard the Calnus under his father. During an investigation on Milokenia, Claude activates an unknown device and is transported to Expel. The planet is suffering earthquakes, monster attacks, and other disasters linked to a mysterious object in the sky. When Claude saves Rena Lanford with a phase gun, the people of Expel connect him to their legend of the Hero of Light. The misunderstanding captures the problem behind UP3. Advanced technology becomes mythology when the observer has no language to explain it. Claude and Rena travel towards the object known as the Sorcery Globe, believing it may explain the disasters and Claude's arrival. Rena's healing powers and mysterious pendant make the journey personal. She is not merely connected to the crisis. She is connected to the civilization that began it billions of years earlier. The sorcery globe is actually the quadratic sphere, a Nedean device being used by the 10 wise men to pull Expel towards Energy Nede. At Illyria Tower, the 10 weapons emerge from their prison and reveal that Expel has already been dragged out of its orbit. The planet collides with Energy Nede. In a single moment, the villages, kingdoms, and people the heroes fought to protect appeared to be erased. Claude and Rena survive because they are caught in the transport field leading to Energy Nede. There, the present finally meets the galaxy's deepest recorded past. Energy Nede is the sealed refuge constructed by the survivors of the original Nedean Empire. The 10 wise men are not gods or demons. They are the Empire's abandoned weapons, still carrying Lantis's command to destroy all life. Rena learns that she is Nedean. Records in a symbological weapons laboratory identify her mother as Rena, a Nedean researcher. They also reveal that Rena was sent through both space and time. She was born almost 700 million years before the events on Expel. When Rena was around 2 years old, Rena sent her into the future to escape the destruction of the laboratory. Rena arrived on Expel in space date 351, where Wasta Lanford found and adopted her. That makes Rena one of the most extreme time travelers in the series. The truth explains the origin of her powers. It does not replace the life she built on Expel or the mother who raised her. With help from the remaining Nedeans, Claude, Rena, and their companions challenge the 10 wise men inside Phenol. Gabriel eventually activates the Symbol of Annihilation, a symbological program capable of destroying the universe. Nedean researchers prepare the Symbol of Divinity as a countermeasure. Null and the remaining Nedean leadership understand that using it will redirect the destructive force into Energy Nede. They accept the cost. The choice does not erase Nede's imperial history, and it cannot be treated as a decision made personally by every Nedean citizen. But the surviving leaders choose to sacrifice their own world so another can live. The world of Energy Nede is destroyed. Nedean time displacement technology restores Expel from the moment before its collision. The people of Arlia, Salva, Marze, and Lacure live again. Claude and Rena return carrying the memory of a civilization that vanished, so theirs could continue. The direct sequel begins 2 years later in Star Ocean Blue Sphere. The game was originally released for the Game Boy Color and never received an official English localization, so some names and finer details vary between fan translations. Opera and Ernest crash on the planet Edifice and send a distress call to their friends. Persis, Leon, and the wider group from Expel travel to rescue them, only to become stranded as well. Claude and Rena are initially unavailable because of their Federation duties, but their work eventually brings them to Edifice too. The planet appears underdeveloped, yet its surface contains machinery and ruins left by an advanced civilization. Behind its history is Mother Edifice, the supercomputer created by the Muwa thousands of years earlier. Mother Edifice was designed to possess a human host and trigger a catastrophic tsunami whenever civilization's misuse of technology appeared likely to lead towards destruction. The result was not salvation. It was a repeating cycle of mass death and cultural erasure. The timeline records major disasters on Edifice in 1656, 1856, 2056, and space date 168. In space date 368, the party destroys Mother Edifice and ends that cycle permanently. Star Ocean Blue Sphere is smaller in scale than the numbered games, but it reinforces one of the series' central ideas. Technological progress does not move in a straight line. Civilizations rise, leave machines behind, collapse, and become legends to the people who inherit their worlds. The heroes of Roak, Expel, and Edifice all encounter technology left behind by earlier societies. What changes is not the existence of power. It is whether each generation chooses to repeat the purpose for which that power was created. By the end of this era, Nede is gone, and Expel has joined the wider galactic community. But the mistake behind the Nedean Empire has not disappeared. Human institutions continue to grow, and the Pangalactic Federation eventually becomes one of the dominant powers in known space. In Part 3, children are turned into experiments, integration is twisted into forced assimilation, and humanity finally reaches the boundary of its universe. There, the people of the Eternal Sphere discover who created their reality and why that creator wants them erased. Like the video and subscribe so you do not miss the final part when it is released, along with more Star Ocean and other similar videos.